Hi, I'm Allie Platty. I'm currently a freshman at Alma College. I'm majoring in elementary education and special education. This is my screencast about assessment. Criterion reference test compares a student's abilities to a set of standardized benchmarks in relation to a specific body of knowledge appropriate to the student. It's essentially asking whether or not the student has the skills and knowledge being assessed. An example of a criterion reference test is the Brigance. The Brigance math test includes problems from the first grade level all the way up to the 8th grade level. The test helps determine what grade level a student is at and can potentially help find gaps in the student's knowledge and understanding. A formative assessment takes all the little pieces and puts them all together to form a bigger picture, like the snowman. You take all the little pieces and you put them together and you make a snowman. Formative assessment is a way to find out if a student knows and understands each piece of a lesson and if he or she can put it all together. So can the student use the pieces and make the snowman? An example of a formative assessment could be something like this activity, having a student write a postcard to their best friend telling them what they did in class today. Or it could be something as simple as observing a student and talking to them a little bit to find out what they know. A summative assessment is like a squished snowman. It takes everything learned and puts it all together into something like a test or a quiz. It essentially summarizes everything that should have been learned. Triangulation is a way of using data from all three forms of assessment to see where a student is in his or her learning. It combines results from standardized tests like the Brigance to results from tests or quizzes that the teacher might give and activities and homeworks to what the teacher knows from observing the student and talking to the student. To give the math Brigance, teachers read the directions out loud printed on each page and point to the indicated section. For a student to move on to the next page or grade level in their test packet, they need to have at least 80% accuracy. The student I gave the math Brigance to got through to the 3rd grade level, but I think if I had been able to give further directions or had been able to better explain what needed to be done, I think this student would have gotten further in the test. These assessment results are important to future planning because they can help determine where a student is academically and what they know. These results can also help show any gaps in a student's learning and knowledge.
So today, Mary and I are going to teach you how to do improper fractions, so mixed numbers. So we are going to change 13 over 10 into a mixed number. Ready, Mary?
So, Monkey's got 13 bananas on his head, and he's got 10 on his foot, and he has this trip over a rock that has a division sign on it, and 13 goes over here, and then the 10 stays on that side.
So then you get 10 divided by 13. You can't see it.
10 goes in the 13 one time, and then 10 times 1 is 10, so then under the 13. Then 13 minus 10 is 3.
There you go.
3 is your remainder, and the 3 goes on top of the original stew, so 3 over 10. Your answer is 1 3/10.
Throughout this whole process, I've learned that there are a lot of ways to assess kids and a lot of data from a lot of different assessments that go into determining how much a student knows and where they are grade level wise. Research indicates that students with learning disabilities often have a hard time remembering problem-solving steps because they don't get the logic behind them. These poor memory skills lead to difficulty transferring academic skills to other tasks, which makes building on previous knowledge difficult. Being aware of this and finding creative and different ways to teach the same concept multiple times is an essential skill for a special education teacher to have. It's also important to be sure to get the right diagnosis correct so that the student can receive the necessary services.